All right guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome inside of the GTS. I had an annual service done at the Porsche dealership. 3 things were done. 1, the big 20,000 mile service. 2, I put the winter tires on, removed the summer tires. So I want to talk about the condition of my summer tires after this amount of time. And 3, I had the front PDLS Plus lights adjusted. So I'll talk about all 3 of those things. I have the bill here in front of me. Let's talk about the big 20,000 mile service. Again, it was done at the Porsche dealership. And I know it is more expensive to do it that way. For now, since the car is only 2 years old, I'm the original owner, I wanted to have it serviced at the Porsche dealership. So, I've got about 17,800 miles on the car right now. So the 20,000 mile service is a little early, but I just want to go ahead and get it done and have that peace of mind. So that's what I did. So what does the 20,000 mile service include? Obviously, it's an oil and filter change. They also changed the filters for the air conditioning, and they do this 20-point review of the car. They also kind of flush out all of the air ducts and rain gutters and things like that, they say, and they put on new windshield wipers. And let's see, things like oil filter insert, a new O-ring, aluminum seal ring, screw plug, solvent, cabin air filter, wiper blades, fuel system cleaner, rubber care, ZEP cleaner, whatever that is. Of course, the air filter for the engine. And they check over the car for other kinds of issues. There were no other issues to be found. So all of that, you know, the parts are about $439. The labor, ouch, is, well, $439 is a lot of money for parts, but the labor was $529. So just for the 20,000 mile service alone, it came up to $968. Ouch, that hurt a lot. And one other thing I had done that I almost forgot was I had the brake fluid flush performed, and Porsche recommends you do this every 2 years. And that came up to about $382 to have that done. So to add to that, I had the winter tires put on. I already purchased them for the previous winter season. I have Michelin Alpine tires on for my winter set, and they seem to be fine. I did one autocross with this set of winter tires in this spring, and they seem to perform fine. It was very cold weather this spring when I did that first autocross. And I noticed too that the winter tires, obviously maybe with a thicker tread block, different kind of rubber compound, the car has a slightly softer ride to it, not as sharp feeling to it as the summer tires do. And as far as responsiveness, you know, you feel that through the steering wheel. And the summer tires just are sharper than the winter tires, but that's what summer tires are for. They're high performance tires. So I put the winter tires on, and doing that swap cost about $200. Again, this car has center lock wheels on them, so I really do want those to be done right and handled properly. So definitely switching the tires. I'm always probably going to be going back to the Porsche dealer. What? What's this? There's a scratch on my center lock wheel. So I took this to Porsche to have it done right, and they scratched my wheel. This is the second time this has happened with one of my 911s. With my previous 911, the 997.2, they scratched all the lug nut areas. So now with this center lock, they scratched the rim around the center lock. How could they do this when it's their own product? Here's an interesting thing about the summer tires. I was very curious to see what the condition of the summer tires was. All right guys, so here are my summer tires. They've been removed from the car, and I just want to point out a couple things. I've had these Pirelli P0s, the front ones, since the car was brand new, and the fronts are still in decent shape in spite of all of the long distance travel I've done in the last 2 years. And this year I've been doing at least 4 autocrosses on these front tires, and they're still in decent shape. So these are the Pirelli P0 summer tires. The rears, however, took more damage, and these rears are not as old as the fronts. The rears are about a year old. As you can see, this one has like a giant nail that got embedded in it. That's not good, so this tire is done. It's shot. But what's interesting is this tire never lost any pressure, so I guess this nail is really, really embedded in there. Yeah, it's really in there. And the other rear tire had a bubble on the sidewall. So the rear tires are done, but I'm thinking I want to research some new summer tires for next year. If you guys have any recommendations on summer tires have been performing well for you, I'm going to be doing hopefully some autocrossing next year, but primarily, you know, I just want the car for fun back road driving as well as long distance travel. So I don't want to get tires that are too track focused, because that's not the dominant use of this car. The dominant use of this car really is on the road. So anyway, if you have any recommendations, guys, on new summer tires, please leave them in the comments below. Both of the rear tires now at this point are done, and they showed a lot more wear than the fronts, and I guess that's normal. It's a rear engine car. Most of the weight is over the rear, and it's a rear wheel drive, two-wheel drive, rear wheel drive car. So all of the power is being transmitted to the ground by those rear tires. So it stands to reason that the rear tires get worn out first. But the winter tires are on now, and that'll get me through this season. The other thing that I had done was the front PDLS Plus lights. If you follow my channel, you'll know this, but the original PDLS Plus lights that came with this car had a silver housing around them, and with all of the black trim on this car, I really wanted the black housings. So I went back to Porsche and ordered the black housings for the PDLS Plus lamps. And what that means is they have to send you brand new lamps. You know, the whole thing is built by Porsche, and they send you the whole lamp. So they had to take the silver ones out with the whole unit out and put in the ones with the black housing, and it's a total replacement. But since that work was done at the dealer, the aim didn't seem quite right, and these lights are so bright. I mean, they are fantastic. They light up everything, and for a long distance, they're fantastic lights. But because the aim seemed a little high, I could tell that oncoming traffic, they thought my brights were on in some cases. Sometimes people would flash me. So I could tell that the aim was just too high. So the dealer did that under warranty, just kind of pulled the aim down, and I think we're good to go now. So those were the three things that I had done. And the total bill came to about $1,600, which is a lot. And they took 10% off, which lowered it down to, you know, $1,498. Still a lot of money. You know, I'm a working guy. Yes, I have a great car, but I work hard for it. I'm not loaded with cash, so I have to manage my money just like everybody else. So well, I paid $1,498 for this service. That's a big chunk of change. So not happy about that, but I want to keep the car running in pristine condition. This is my hobby, this car. I love driving, and I want it to be in tip-top condition. Why have a high performance car if you're not going to keep the performance in tip-top shape? That's my feeling. All right, so there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the next one, and safe driving out there, everybody.